My beloved child, this message is not coming to you by chance because something hidden in your family energy is slowly rising to the surface, and Archangel Michael is warning you now not to ignore the quiet discomfort you have been feeling about your sister, because when truth is ready to be revealed it first shows itself as intuition and confusion, and you may have been wondering lately why something feels off, why conversations feel different, or why your heart feels unsettled when her name comes into your thoughts, and this is because there are actions and intentions that have not yet been spoken, and what remains hidden can no longer stay in the dark. And this is not about punishment, this is about protection, because when you are connected to someone by blood or deep emotion, their choices affect your destiny, and the universe will always warn you before something that could emotionally hurt you becomes visible. And right now Archangel Michael's energy is surrounding you to prepare you for a truth that may surprise you but will also free you. And here is the emotional truth most people ignore: the people closest to us have the greatest power to either support us or silently drain us, and when someone carries secrets, those secrets create a distance that you can feel even if you do not understand it yet. And this is why this message feels heavy, because you are being asked to open your eyes without hardening your heart, and to protect your peace without becoming bitter. And whatever is about to be revealed will not destroy you, it will clarify you, and clarity is always the beginning of healing. And Archangel Michael is reminding you that you do not need to confront or accuse anyone right now, you only need to observe, remain calm, and trust that the truth always surfaces when it is time. And the moment you stop taking things normally and start listening to your intuition, you will begin to see what was once hidden becoming obvious. And when that happens, you will be strong enough to respond not with anger but with wisdom, because you were guided here not to create conflict but to protect your emotional and spiritual future. This message is returning to you again is because the situation involving your sister is moving closer to the moment of revelation, and what has been quietly happening behind the scenes is beginning to lose its ability to stay hidden. And you may notice small signs, conversations that do not match actions, sudden changes in behavior, or a feeling that something is being avoided. And these are not coincidences, they are cracks forming in a wall that was built to hide the truth, and you are being warned now not to dismiss these signs or explain them away, because your intuition is stronger than any excuse, and the universe never sends confusion without also sending clarity. And the emotional truth is that sometimes the people we trust the most are the ones who struggle the most with being honest, and this does not always come from cruelty, it comes from fear, guilt, or insecurity. But regardless of the reason, hidden actions create emotional danger, and Archangel Michael's protection is now surrounding you, so that when the truth comes you will not be blindsided, you will be prepared. And preparation is what turns pain into power, and you are not being asked to judge or attack anyone, you are being asked to stand in awareness and self-respect, because whatever is about to be uncovered is meant to show you who is truly aligned with your growth and who is not. And once you see that clearly, you will be able to make decisions that protect your heart, your peace, and your future without needing to fight or argue, because truth speaks for itself. And this is why you were told not to take this normally, because this moment is not ordinary, it is a turning point in how you understand the people closest to you. Archangel Michael says the reason this message is growing heavier inside your heart is because what has been hidden for so long is finally losing its power to remain unseen, and when truth prepares to surface it always creates emotional tension before it becomes visible, and that is exactly what you have been feeling lately, that quiet uneasiness that comes when you think about your sister, that strange pause you feel before you speak to her, that subtle sense that something is being left unsaid. And this is not imagination, this is intuition, and intuition is the language of the soul, and your soul has been receiving signals for some time now that something in this relationship is no longer aligned the way it once was. And Archangel Michael's warning is not meant to create fear but to create awareness, because awareness is what protects you from being emotionally blindsided, and the most painful truths are not the ones that hurt us. Suddenly they are the ones that were slowly whispering to us while we ignored them, and now those whispers are becoming louder. And the reason this feels intense is because deep down you already know that not everything being shown to you is the full story, and sometimes people we love carry secrets not because they want to hurt us but because they are afraid of being seen for who they really are, and fear makes people hide, and hiding creates distance, and distance creates misunderstanding, and when misunderstanding grows long enough it eventually breaks into truth, and that is the phase you are entering now, and Archangel Michael is guiding you through it so that you do not respond with anger or emotional collapse but with calm clarity and inner strength, because when something hidden is revealed it is easy to feel betrayed, but it is also a chance to finally understand what was really happening behind the surface, and that understanding is what gives you power. And the universe does not reveal things to destroy you, it reveals things to free you from illusions that were quietly draining your energy. And the truth about your sister may not be what you expected, but it will show you exactly where you stand in her life and what kind of emotional boundaries you need to protect yourself. And boundaries are not walls, they are doors that you control, and right now Archangel Michael is teaching you how to close certain doors gently without slamming them, because peace does not come from confrontation, it comes from clarity, and once clarity arrives you will no longer need to question every word, every tone, every action, because you will see things as they truly are, and that is when emotional freedom begins. And this is why you were told not to take this normally, because ordinary moments do not carry this level of spiritual pressure. This is a moment of revelation and realignment where relationships shift not because of drama but because of truth, and the people who are meant to walk with you will remain, while those who were hiding behind masks will slowly step out of your inner circle. And that is not loss, that is protection, and Archangel Michael's energy now is surrounding you with calm, so that when the truth about your sister unfolds you will not feel broken, you will feel clear, and clarity is the greatest gift because it allows you to choose peace over confusion and self-respect over emotional chaos, and you deserve that peace because your heart was never meant to live in constant doubt. And once the hidden actions are brought into the light, you will finally understand why things felt strange for so long, and that understanding will allow you to move forward without carrying resentment, because resentment keeps you tied to the past, but awareness sets you free. And this is the deeper meaning of this warning, not to scare you but to prepare you, so that when truth arrives it does not shake you, it strengthens you, and you will walk into the next chapter of your life lighter, calmer, and wiser than before. Do not leave yet. Archangel Michael is about to reveal something very important that will bring peace and protection into your life. Michael says the reason everything around you feels emotionally heavier now is because the process of uncovering what was hidden about your sister has already begun, and when truth starts moving it creates ripples before it becomes clear, and you may notice sudden changes in her behavior, small contradictions or moments, and these are not accidents, they are signs that something is struggling to stay concealed, and the universe never allows secrets that affect your peace to remain buried forever, and you are being warned now so that when the truth becomes visible you are not shocked, you are steady, and there is a deep emotional strength that comes from being prepared rather than surprised. And the reason this message feels serious is because this is not a small misunderstanding, this is about alignment and whether the relationship you have with your sister is built on openness or on quiet emotional distance, and Archangel Michael is guiding you to observe, not to accuse, to listen, not to attack, and to trust that what needs to be revealed will reveal itself without you forcing it. And when that moment arrives you will see everything more clearly than ever before, and clarity will bring both sadness and relief, because sometimes the truth hurts, but it also removes the weight of uncertainty, and the energy that has been draining you will finally be released, and you will realize that you were not wrong for feeling something was off. You were simply ahead of the truth, and now the truth is catching up, and whatever is about to be uncovered is not here to destroy the bond between you, it is here to show you how that bond must change so that it becomes healthier, more honest and more respectful. And if your sister chooses honesty, this will become a healing moment, but if she chooses to continue hiding, then you will know where you truly stand, and that knowledge will allow you to protect your heart without bitterness, because you deserve relationships that are transparent, loving, and safe. And Archangel Michael is reminding you that you are not here to carry emotional confusion for anyone else, you are here to grow in peace and awareness, and that is why this message came when it did, because the time for not taking this normally has arrived. Don't leave this message, watch now. Your heart has been feeling restless and heavy is because the situation involving your sister has reached a spiritual breaking point where what was once hidden can no longer remain buried, and when truth prepares to rise it first creates emotional confusion, because illusions do not disappear quietly, they resist. And you may have noticed that something about her presence, her tone or her energy has shifted, and this is because what has been kept in the dark is starting to come into the light, and this is not meant to create fear but to prepare you, because when something that has been concealed for a long time finally begins to reveal itself, it can feel shocking if you are not ready, and Archangel Michael's warning is here so that you remain grounded rather than overwhelmed. And the emotional truth is that secrets change relationships even when no words are spoken, because energy always communicates before the mind understands, and your intuition has been picking up on this for a long time. Which is why you have felt moments of discomfort that you could not explain, and the reason this message is so serious is because when someone close to you carries hidden intentions or unresolved guilt, it affects not only them but the emotional atmosphere of everyone around them. And this is why you were told not to take this normally, because ordinary situations do not create this kind of spiritual pressure. This is the pressure of truth trying to surface, and whatever is about to be uncovered about your sister is not meant to break you, it is meant to show you who she truly is right now, not who she was in the past. And sometimes people change in ways we do not expect, and when they do it can feel like betrayal, but in reality it is simply a revelation, and revelation is always painful before it becomes freeing. And Archangel Michael's energy now is surrounding you so that when the truth appears you do not react with anger or Emotional collapse, but with clarity and calm, because clarity gives you power. And power allows you to decide how much access someone has to your heart and your life, and this is the deeper purpose of this warning: not to create conflict, but to give you the strength to protect your peace, and whatever comes into the open will give you the understanding you have been missing, and once you understand, you will no longer need to doubt yourself or question your feelings, because you will see the pattern clearly, and that clarity will allow you to move forward either into a healthier relationship or into a space where you no longer allow confusion to drain you, and either way you will be free. And that is what Archangel Michael wants for you: not chaos, not fear, but freedom. And this is why this moment matters so much, because the truth that is about to be revealed will quietly reshape your emotional world, and how you choose to respond will determine how peaceful your future becomes. The air around this situation has begun to change, and you can feel it even if you cannot yet explain it, because when truth prepares to emerge, it alters the emotional temperature of everything it touches, and the connection you share with your sister is no exception. And you may notice that the familiar warmth you once felt has been mixed with a strange quiet distance, not because love has disappeared, but because something unspoken has been standing between you. And when something stands between two hearts long enough, it begins to cast a shadow, and that shadow is what you have been sensing lately, in subtle ways, in hesitations, in pauses, in the way conversations no longer feel as open as they once did. And this is why you were told not to take this normally, because ordinary moments do not create this kind of spiritual pressure. This pressure comes when truth is preparing to surface, and Archangel Michael's energy is now moving through this situation to bring clarity, not chaos. And you must understand that clarity is sometimes uncomfortable, because it removes the illusions that once made things feel easier. But illusions never protect us, they only delay understanding. And the deeper emotional truth is that when someone carries hidden actions or unspoken intentions, it does not make them evil, it makes them afraid. And fear often causes people to hide parts of themselves rather than risk being seen. And your sister may have been carrying something inside her that she did not know how to express or admit, and instead of speaking it, she buried it. And when feelings or actions are buried, they do not disappear, they simply wait until they must be acknowledged. And that moment has arrived, and the universe is now creating conditions where what was hidden can no longer remain invisible. And you are being prepared for this, not so that you react with shock, but so that you respond with strength and wisdom. And there is a difference between reaction and response, because reaction comes from hurt, but response comes from clarity. And Archangel Michael wants you to stay in clarity, because clarity will protect your peace, while hurt will only tie you to emotional turmoil. And the reason this message feels so heavy is because your heart already knows that something in this relationship is about to shift, and shifts are never easy because they require us to release the version of someone we once knew in order to meet who they truly are now. And that can feel like loss even when it is actually truth. And when truth arrives, it often comes in pieces: first a word, here a moment there, a realization that suddenly makes past confusion make sense. And you may find yourself remembering things you once ignored or dismissed, and now they will connect into a clearer picture. And this picture may not be exactly what you hoped for, but it will be what you need, because Understanding is the foundation of emotional safety, and without understanding we keep giving trust where it no longer belongs. And Archangel Michael's role here is not to turn you against your sister but to help you see her clearly, because love that is blind can become painful, but love that is aware can become wise, and wisdom allows you to love without losing yourself, and that is what you are being taught now, to remain compassionate without being naive, to remain kind without being unprotected, and to remain open without being harmed. And whatever is about to be uncovered about your sister is not meant to destroy the bond, it is meant to reveal what kind of bond it truly is, and from that truth you will be able to decide how to move forward, either toward healing or toward healthy distance, and both are valid when chosen with self-respect. And the universe never reveals something to take something away, it reveals it to give you your power back, and your power lies in knowing where you stand and not having to guess or doubt anymore. And once the hidden actions come into the light, you will feel a strange mix of sadness and relief. Sadness because something will no longer be what you imagined it was, and relief because the confusion will finally be gone. And confusion is one of the most exhausting emotional states a person can live in, and Archangel Michael is lifting that weight from you now, so that you can breathe again without wondering what is really going on beneath the surface. And you do not need to confront anyone or create drama. The truth will speak for itself, and you will know when it does, because your intuition will feel calm instead of restless, and that calm is the sign that you are finally seeing clearly. And when you see clearly, you no longer need to defend yourself emotionally, because you will naturally begin to make choices that honor your peace and protect your heart. And this is the deeper purpose of this warning, not to create fear but to guide you toward emotional freedom, because freedom is not the absence of pain, it is the presence of understanding. And once understanding arrives, you will no longer feel lost in this connection, you will feel grounded and strong and ready to step into whatever the next chapter requires. And Archangel Michael's final reminder in this moment is that you are not here to carry other people's secrets at the cost of your own peace. You are here to live in truth, clarity, and self-respect, and whatever is about to be revealed will lead you closer to that state, even if the path feels uncomfortable at first, because the light always feels bright when you have been in the dark for a long time. But once your eyes adjust, you will realize that this light is what you have been needing all along. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says you are now entering the phase where what was once confusing about your sister will slowly begin to make sense, and when understanding replaces doubt, a quiet peace starts to grow inside you, even if the truth is not easy, because clarity is always kinder than uncertainty. And you may soon notice that the way you see her changes, not because you stop loving her but because you finally see her as she truly is, rather than who you hoped she would be. And this is one of the hardest but most powerful emotional shifts a person can make, and the reason this message is still being spoken to you is because you are being guided to move through this revelation with maturity and compassion rather than anger and blame. And Archangel Michael's energy is here to remind you that people do not hide because they are evil, they hide because they are afraid, and fear makes people act in ways that hurt others without intending to. And when you understand that, you stop taking things personally and start seeing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture here is that your sister is on her own journey with her own struggles, and whatever has been hidden is not meant to define her forever, but it does define how you must protect your heart right now. And protection does not mean punishment, it means boundaries, and boundaries are not walls, they are expressions of self-respect. And as the truth continues to unfold, you will feel more confident about where to place your emotional energy and who deserves your trust and who needs more distance, and that discernment is a gift and the universe is giving it to you now because you are ready to carry it. And this is why you were told not to take this normally, because this is not just about one relationship, it is about learning how to listen to your intuition, how to honor your feelings, and how to stay aligned with peace even when someone close to you is not. And once you integrate this lesson, you will never again feel as lost or confused in your connections, because you will know how to recognize truth even when it arrives quietly, and that is the greatest protection of all. Take a slow breath right now and let the weight you have been carrying begin to ease, because this chapter is reaching its natural conclusion, and what once felt confusing and heavy is slowly being replaced by understanding. And when understanding arrives, it does not always come with loud answers. Sometimes it comes as a quiet knowing in the heart, and that quiet knowing is what Archangel Michael has been guiding you toward through this entire journey. And you may not have realized it at first, but every strange feeling, every moment of doubt, every emotional shift you felt about your sister was not meant to make you suffer. It was meant to lead you to awareness, and awareness is the doorway to peace, and you are standing in that doorway now, and you do not have to be afraid to walk through it, because what lies on the other side is not conflict, it is clarity, and clarity gives you the freedom to choose how you move forward without being controlled by fear or uncertainty. And this is the true miracle of this message, not that something was hidden, but that what was hidden no longer has power over you. And when something no longer has power over you, it no longer controls your emotions, your decisions, or your future. And that is what Archangel Michael wants for you above all else: emotional sovereignty, the ability to stand in your own truth without being pulled apart by other people's secrets. And sometimes the hardest truth we must accept is that the people we love are not always the people we imagine them to be, and that does not mean they are bad, it means they are human, and humans carry their own fears, their own wounds, and their own struggles, and sometimes those struggles lead them to hide parts of themselves. But when those parts come into the light, we are given a choice: we can either cling to the illusion of who we thought they were, or we can accept who they are now. And acceptance is not weakness, it is wisdom, because it allows you to see the relationship for what it truly is rather than what you hoped it would be. And from that place you can decide what kind of boundaries, what kind of closeness, and what kind of trust feels right for you. And this is how you protect your peace, not by pushing people away, but by choosing how close they get. And Archangel Michael's presence throughout this experience has been like a steady hand on your shoulder, reminding you that you are not alone, and that even when truth feels uncomfortable, it is always kinder than confusion. And confusion is what has been draining you for so long: that constant wondering, that quiet questioning, that feeling that something was not quite right. And now that weight is lifting, because you are beginning to see clearly, and clarity feels like relief even when it comes with sadness, because sadness passes but relief stays. And as you continue to process what has been revealed, you will notice that your emotions begin to settle into a calmer, more stable rhythm, because you are no longer fighting against the unknown, you are standing in understanding, and understanding gives you solid ground to stand on, and from that ground you can move forward with confidence rather than fear. And this is where your true healing begins, not when everything is perfect, but when everything is honest, and honesty creates space for real connection, whether that connection is rebuilt on healthier terms or gently transformed into something more distant but more peaceful, and either way you will no longer feel trapped in emotional uncertainty, and that is the greatest gift this experience could give you. And as you move into this new phase, Archangel Michael encourages you to be gentle with yourself, because revelation can be emotionally tiring and you deserve time to rest, to reflect and to integrate what you have learned, and there is no rush to make big decisions. The clarity